Right. So next up on this stream, we have Nick Entwistle from 1 Minute Briefs. I don't know if you've actually been and checked out 1 Minute Briefs on Twitter. If you haven't, you need to. It's brilliant. So Nick is going to be talking about make amazing things happen through the power of community. So without further ado, here is Nick Entwistle.
Hi everyone, my name is Nick Entwistle and I'm the creative director and founder of 1 Minute Briefs and the overarching company, the Bank of Creativity. As you can see here are my Twitter handles. The middle one, at 1 Minute Briefs. If you want to tweet anything out as we're going along, then please feel free using the hashtag #SocialDay. And also, whilst we're here, if you do have a pen and paper to hand, I'm going to do a little live thing at the end of this as well. And I'd like us all to get involved and tweet a picture that I'm going to get us all to take a little scribble down of and post out via Twitter. If you use the hashtag, if we're not already trending, #SocialDay, let's try and use the power of all these people here to get it trending. You can also follow my other accounts, Bank of Creativity and Agency Quotes, just there, as you can see. And what I'm going to talk to you about mainly is 1 Minute Briefs, as it's really helped differentiate myself in my career and become a platform and a community for lots of creative people, upwards of 26,000 people. And to show you how it works very quickly, I'm going to show you a quick video to show you exactly what a 1 Minute Brief is. So as you can see, it's high pressure, but when you take away the sort of barriers of your own thinking, you actually come up with something that is actually better than you think, and more often than not, some of the quality that we see through 1 Minute Briefs is even better than industry standards. So it's quite a proven way of thinking as well. And what does it take to be an humble, as our followers kind of call themselves? It's essentially, anyone can come up with an idea. The beauty of it is that it's an open platform. There's no hierarchy, no ego. As long as you've got a phone to be able to post something or a laptop, then you're welcome with us guys. And yes, so 1 Minute Briefs works mainly, so we are on LinkedIn and Facebook, but it's powered through to over 20,000 followers through there. And the main thing powered it has gone from creating silly little ideas when we first started a Twitter feed about 8 years ago to now a big community is the people, of course. So when people are posting into us, they are promoting this to their friends, peers, co-workers, and it gives people something to stand for. That's why people are wearing the t-shirts, people are posting and coming back to 1 Minute Briefs, not just to do a challenge every day, but to meet up with friends, socialise, and have a bit of fun and a bit of creative banter between each other. And that's proved with the fact that every single weekday, because I run 1 Minute Briefs by myself with the support of other people in our board, it's proven every weekday, if I haven't posted the brief by or something, I've got people literally sharing gifts or all sorts of other things on my door, basically, to get post the brief of the day. So I have a bit of pressure, but it's a nice hand. It's I believe my sound might have cut out then, so apologies for that. I'll move on to the slide of this one. So 1 Minute Brief followers are from all around the world. The word of mouth and the people are doing that to share it in their own countries, so their own communities and their own friends will start to share it. And obviously that continues organically. And we're seeing people around the world that will help us to continue to grow. And some of the stuff that is coming out of it is the fact that people are growing portfolios, contacts, confidence. It's really helping people to progress in their own careers. So it's more than just the silly 1 minute ideas. It's a way of building portfolios and connect with people. And that's why people do it, and people really help me build our profile, but hopefully I can build at the same time. And it comes down to stats, and because it's not me posting, it's actually people posting into me in response to our daily brief. So that means that they're the ones getting the numbers, and it's going out even bigger. So let's say we get 100 is going out to 26,500 as their own followers, which is absolutely huge for every single piece of content created. And that's why we have become a global social content generation community. That's the only way I feel like I can describe it, because it's a different way of working. As you can see, we are doing events and bringing this into real life as social as well. And what we can do is we are achieve such, we are able to bring in clients like Adobe, Heineken, Nestle. Those are the types of brands that we can actually work with. We can actually pitch in at quite a high level where you wouldn't normally be able to. And the reason for that is that, the standard process, when an agency produces a piece of content, there's no engagement at that point because you're in the office. Receiving it, zero engagement. And posting it, you will get a few retweets and likes from your own following. The OMB process is when it's being produced, there is engagement across the whole community, up to 160, 200 entries. When the brands receive, there is also engagement because they can retweet as many or as little as they like. And when the brand wants to share that sort of stuff, they have a lot to choose from rather than just one piece. And more often than not, the quality is even much higher than agency standard as well, as mentioned before. And yeah, so look at analytics on how mentions we get, the amount of followers. If we're retweeting every single one of the mentions we do, we're having to reach across the month, every month. And that just continues to grow as our following grows. And we get even more engaged. And that's why we're on the end of trending a lot of time as well. But as I say, it's not about analytics and things for us. It's all about the people and bringing people together in, friendship groups. So we try and do, obviously at the moment it's off the agenda, and we're doing our next one on October 1st online. It's the first ever one we've done. But we do meetups around the year, and we do our annual OMB Live events throughout the year, because I think it's important to not just be this faceless corporation. It's important for me to meet people and everyone to meet each other around the world. And I push that across, I'm a member of the MPA, also an ambassador for Greater Manchester. So I'm trying to connect with even bigger groups worldwide, and connecting with people, collaborating with organisations. It's key. Just us do things ourselves. We the likes of Social Day, partnering up with them, for example, achieve bigger and better, and some of the people are watching this right. That involves obviously celebrating the stuff that we do, commemorating each year with a book, annual events, making people feel a part of it. Obviously everyone wants to be in a book. You might be able to see them behind me on the shelf there. We've got 3 out, and we've got another 4th one coming up soon. And I'll show you a few examples of the 1 minute briefs, which I've absolutely loved recently. Loved these ones. These were for your, this was for World Emoji Day, sorry. and to create adverts past and present using emojis. And obviously, hopefully we'll all recognise those ones. They don't need too much explaining. Really clever. One for scented candles. Dead simple, really effective, shareable content. Did this brief with JCB for their 75th birthday, and they loved this one. This was their winner. Roller coasters, Alton Towers or whoever else, really fun, stunning typography, dead simple as sliding into your DMs. Everyone will relate to that on social. And this one for Doc is a really clever idea. I think could be a campaign if they ran it. Favourite movies, we do not talk about this movie and watch it over and over again for Groundhog Day. Dead simple, effective, shareable again. Now this one was a really nice campaign about inclusivity that we partnered up with advertising to reimagine adverts for brands in a more inclusive way. And I think these three were really particularly powerful. Absolutely love the one on the Chanel advert, moving the apostrophe over to after the S to make it a completely different advert, and very clever. And it's all about also being reactive, and this can be for anyone really. If something happens in the media, or there's a new news story, for example, Stephen Hendry, my favourite snooker player, changed. He came out of retirement today, so I decided to run the 1 minute brief around that because I thought it'd be good. It's topical, and I wanted my daily brief to be that. Now this one was for obviously Mog was seen on the Parliament thing, so someone did an IKEA advert. It was in the Sunday Times or the Times the very next day. So it's just sometimes just putting something out there, even if it's a quick Photoshop job or a scribble something down. You never know where it might end up.
What's key?
And we also run an initiative called Merry Christmas, which is about giving students portfolio critiques, and it's about giving something back to our industry. And obviously that helps you get some publicity, but by doing something good for your industry, getting people involved. We've got creative directors from all around the world getting involved just because we created a character called Father Christmas, and that's supported through 1 minute briefs as well. And I got to meet Vincent Company, who is another hero of mine, through the charity work that we did. There's a stunning piece on the left you can see there with the football post as a goal, and they think it's all over as a piece of copywriting. That shows the copy versus art direction thing, both as powerful as each other, I think. And for me, I like to share this one as I feel it's the most important, most powerful moment of 1 minute briefs, and when I realised that this is a bigger community than I ever thought could happen. I did a football team, always trying to build the brand in different ways, and we were against other agencies in this football tournament. Now, so on the way home from this tournament, I actually, unfortunately, very sadly, had a heart attack at 26. It's 5 years ago now. And yeah, so suddenly everything is on the floor. 1 minute briefs isn't going to get run. I was freelancing at the time. My confidence is on the floor of my career as well. But what happened next was something that really picked me up and no doubt helped in my recovery. Now, you can hear me now. I'm just getting a couple of messages saying cut out a little bit. But hopefully you heard the last bit because it's quite important. I unfortunately had a heart attack on the way home, and yeah, suddenly everything career-wise, 1 minute briefs-wise, is out of the window. But on the Monday, 1 minute brief started to run itself because someone had heard the news, and then this content starts to come through. No one's even running this thing, and the hashtag started to power it through, and people start to get the news. And when I saw this, when I finally got some signal, it really helped my recovery and helped me stay positive. And then the first brief I got, because my own job, aside from 1 minute briefs, has always been as a creative or a creative director. And I came back in once I got a bit of confidence, and luckily my first job was a small little job to raise morale within the NHS, and it was to do a film. So I said, well, let's put this to the 1 Minute Brief community, see if we can build something bigger. So we did so, and the JPEG on the left had massive amounts of views and likes on Facebook alone. Someone saw that, the NHS choir saw it and said, could that be our music video concept? So, of course, we said, yeah. Things started to grow, and I went down and directed this really nice music video. And off the back of that, we did another 1 Minute Brief campaign, Do You Love Your NHS? Say I Do. And as you can see here, some of the celebrities that was on this morning, Phil and Holly, Piers Morgan shared it as well. And this obviously helped spiral it, and it continued to grow. Press coverage, we started to overtake One Direction, Louisa from X Factor. We even overtook Justin Bieber at one stage to go into #1 spot in the live charts, and he himself then posted his own support. And then on Christmas Day, I'm sat there watching this with my mum, and we somehow had done it. There were people ringing me up, you don't know what we've done, doctors and nurses ringing me and everything. We were #1 just before or after the Queen's speech, and luckily we've got the number one trophy behind me. So that was a huge campaign, and you don't know where to go from there. But I suppose you've just got to try and keep going and do bigger and better campaigns with the belief that you now can do these big things that we got from the NHS thing. Now I'll show you this video that was another campaign that followed on. Totally different to NHS, but something that was quite big.
Hi, my name's Isabella, and I'm just 10 years old. So, it sometimes shocks people when I say the word I first learnt the word when I was 3 years old, and haven't stopped saying it since. I think I need help. I know I shouldn't know it, but I'm not afraid to use it. When I get angry, I say, I hate you, and my mum gets upset. Yes, maybe I am a bit too young to know what the word means, but it's something I just can't get off my mind. Sometimes I just want to get it all out. You should give it a try too. Say it with me. I hate you. Louder. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you, cancer. Please go away.
So as you can see, very powerful piece of content, and that came from an initial 1 Minute Brief idea that she's had it from 4 years old. She shouldn't know. Then a script was written with the family, and I've worked with the family down and directed it, and very difficult to direct, of course, and absolutely amazingly well. Family proud. Off the back of that, I had something that was powerful. Daily Mirror, the Mail, it had 10 million views alone, it reached the BBC, it got on the news, and suddenly started to help donations left, right and centre to really help get up to the money that was required to get certain treatment. And this came from a guy the person who did the initial 1 Minute Brief was called Zed, and he isn't even in the creative industry, which shows that people can do these great, amazing things. Zed suffered from depression, he won't mind me telling you, in the past, and he has found an outlet with 1 Minute Briefs where he feels supported in an industry that otherwise hasn't always supported him, to be honest. And he is also responsible for this one, which we did for the WWF and is an ongoing project. And we saw this, and it was like, you can see in the next few comments, people love it, it would happen. So I got to WWF. I think spoke to who taught at the Social Day event yesterday. I said, we need to make this happen, and they were all for it. We started assets, we collaborated with the Drum to make this even bigger and get other creatives involved. We ran 1 minute briefs to get people to do their own interpretations of this. On the day, it was completely relentless. On World Wildlife Day, I was sat here, nothing glamorous. I was sat here retweeting literally all day because, trending. Football teams, brands, sports teams all started to get involved on the day. Wolves even took the wolf off their logo on the day. We were going to do this on May the 22nd. We took this to LinkedIn was a really good thing as well, where I was able to get a lot of marketers involved. I found that particularly powerful in helping gain the contacts from different areas from nothing, basically. Sporf from Social Chain, run by Social Chain, they helped us with a big article as well. And where next? We were looking at what if the Premier League were going to do it, and what if if England were to take their 3 lines off their logo, and then countries around the world would start doing these things, and the roses. And then coronavirus happened. So unfortunately, football teams, as well as everyone else, all brands, etc., had more important things to worry about potentially. So the May the 22nd thing went out the window. So we've shelved that until next year when we're going to revisit this as well. But what I did at that point was to take a step back from bigger campaigns and just have a bit of a laugh at first with 1 minute briefs, to try and take away from the doom and gloom of all this horrible news that we were getting and being locked inside. But then it became apparent that there was a need for public service messaging, like hand gel stuff, awareness. We had an online pub, which you'll see in the middle. There was also stop panic buying, so we did a campaign on that. So we started to really build some traction, and we've gone from 21,000 followers to coming up to 27,000 followers just over lockdown, because it's been a place where people can come to online and gain a lot of results from themselves, as well as helping us achieve big things. We were Peston as well, so that was an amazing to get live TV for our work in collaboration with the UN and social distancing. The bottom right one, divided we stand, united we fall. Really powerful, great content. We've started to trend a lot more organically because we're growing and more people are getting involved. We had the Don't Visit Challenge with this content that you see on the right. Really fun content, and we just start to trend on Twitter. Off the back of the online pub brief, someone did this one for Guinness, which I'm sure some of you will have seen at one point or another. A sofa with a stay-at-home message with the Guinness silhouette. It just went absolutely everywhere on the day. It went viral without Guinness even running it. And then Guinness themselves ran it across all of their channels across the world a few days later. It was potentially an iconic ad of its time, and it all started with a 1 minute brief. And this one, putting the copy over that particular image made it extremely powerful. NHS Million sharing it as well. And it was a huge poster. And as I say, since then we've trended a lot more. We've trended like sleeves for Bring Back the Shave. That was a lot of fun. We did hash cake and garlic bread, so we had a lot of Peter Kay memes coming through as well, and that helps with the fun, and people were just loving it. Hashtag fish and chips even. So we're starting to create a lot of trends. So brands that are working with us are very likely or on the edge of starting to trend now, and we're able to, once that happens, the momentum picks up and we're achieving huge things, and we can do a lot more stuff. So as I'm sort of coming to the end now, I've got a few minutes left with what I want us all to do. Someone said this to me: "What's the best that could happen?" And I firmly believe, especially since the NHS thing, something to me as a brief. I think, what's the worst that could happen. So trying to be positive in that way. If it fails, doesn't matter. And that's exactly the premise of 1 minute. So what I want us all to do now, if you've got pen and paper, please use your pen and paper, or open up notes on your phone. And if you do a note on your phone, take a screen grab of it at the end. If you're doing it on paper, take a picture of it and tweet it to @social_day, @1minutebriefs with #socialday20. Hopefully we'll start to create a big buzz with the types of people we've got on here. So you're going to have 1 minute to come up with an idea, and I'm going to, when I go on to the next screen, and then you have to post it afterwards. Okay. So, you've got 1 minute to create a poster to advertise yourself. Advertise yourself. Go.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
So make sure you tweet those swap ones with the #day20. Take a picture of it. Think it's rubbish. Say Nick from 1 Minute Briefs made us do this in 1 minute. As a bit of a disclaimer, don't worry much. It's all about taking part and creating something online, a bit of buzz. And however bad you might think it is, it's a lot of fun. No one can do an amazing thing in 1 minute, although it's the start of something real. So, yeah, finally, that you can achieve anything. It is all, social media is all up. Forget all the, what about algorithms, list, all that type of thing. At the end of the day, it is all about, and together you can achieve anything. Thanks very much for listening.
Brilliant. Thanks so much for that, Nick. Really powerful session, to be honest with you. I think a lot of people in the group actually have commented on how powerful some of that stuff was. I'm not sure if we still got you with us. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So nice to meet you. Thanks so much for doing that. We do have a question in the group. A lot of people have obviously just put messages of support for some of the content that you've done. But Elodie, do you feel that the key when creating content is to call on the audience's curiosity and emotion than just polished content?
Absolutely. I think that capturing an emotion, whether it's laughing, crying, and I think it's really important the most important thing is to create an emotion. The content doesn't necessarily need to be polished in terms of its output. It's obviously better if it's got a higher production value, but you can shoot something on this in the next minute that could be the next viral thing, and or it could be something, something that's on CCTV somewhere that's a funny little thing that's happened, and that could be the next big thing. So it's I think it's about being emotive, whether it's laughter or sadness.
Nick, it's been a fantastic session. So I know people can get hold of you at 1 Minute Briefs, but where else do you lurk? Are you on LinkedIn?
Yeah, you can find me on Nick Entwistle on LinkedIn, at 1 Minute Briefs on Insta, Facebook, LinkedIn as well. You can find me on there. But yeah, or bankofcreativity.co.uk. You can check the website out and check all the other stuff out that we do as well.
Me and the team absolutely love watching some of the content that comes in on the Twitter channel. So have you got anything exciting coming up over the next couple of weeks?
I might have I think I've got a prize brief coming tomorrow of maybe a £100 or £200 prize. We've got a few prize briefs coming up. I'm trying to do prize briefs all the time now, as much as possible, to reward the followers for the loyalty and help open up opportunities for ourselves as well as the followers to create work. But yeah, I've got a load coming up. You just have to keep an eye out on our pinned tweets on Twitter.
Stay tuned for that. Nick, been absolutely awesome to have you on. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. All there's left for me to do now is give you a big round of applause. Thank you very much, Nick.
Thanks so much. Cheers, everyone.